WPB-TV, 30 seconds.
Are we good? Good morning. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach. I want to begin by explaining how this process is going to work. I generally hear building cases, code cases on the agenda first, then the city will call the cases in the order in which they appear on the agenda. If you have appeared at today's hearing, which you have if you are here, your case will be called before those cases where no one has appeared. But that is only true if you have signed in. So if you have not signed in, please see an officer in the rear of the chamber and make sure that your case has been signed in. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first, after which time you will be given the opportunity to review this evidence and ask questions of any of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once all the testimony and evidence has been given, I will make a ruling. You will either receive a written order today at this hearing or in the next few days through the mail, which you receive a copy. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not meant to be a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here. Although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony given today is taken under oath. So if you're going to testify or you think you might testify or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'm going to ask that you stand and raise your right hand and I will swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under the penalty of perjury and the laws of the state of Florida?
I do, sir.
All right, please be seated. The city, please call your first case.
Agenda item number 1, case number CE211-10041, case address 2015 Okeechobee Boulevard.
Morning. Dan Kempa, Electrical Inspector, City of West Palm. This case was a commercial business that installed a fire alarm panel and a notifier with no permits. And the business was posted, hand-delivered to business management on January 3rd, 2022. And I've had several communications with both the property owner and the business management, assuring me that this was going to be rectified, and nothing's happened. So the city would ask that we give 30 days to comply with permits and inspections, or $100 a day thereafter.
Dan, was notice sent by certified and regular mail?
The what?
Was notice sent by certified and regular mail?
I can't hear you.
Was the notice sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes.
Is 30 days a sufficient amount of time for them to accomplish this?
Yes.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? All right, in case CE2111041, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is good and sufficient. I find the property in violation of 110.3 and 105.1. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, case number CE 2110251, case address 5117 51st Way. We have
Are we missing Inspector Montello? You want to circle back to this one while we see if
Okay.
we can hunt him up?
Agenda item number 19, case number CE 21080253, case address 4385 45th Street.
Good morning, my name is Paul Tharp, plumbing inspector for City of West Palm Beach. And we cited this property back in December the 21st.
Which case are you here for, sir?
Number 19.
He's 19. I'm sorry.
So they had a grease trap that was needed to be replaced. They did move forward and got their permit, but they haven't called in an inspection. And the city is asking for 30 days, about $100 per day.
Can you roll back with me for a second? So how did you see this property? What is it that's, I mean,
Actually, I didn't personally cite this property. I'm just standing in for somebody that's not in today. Attilio bylaw. And when they went out to inspect this property, they found that the grease trap had a big hole in it.
But you didn't go out and see it?
No, I didn't personally. I'm just standing in for the person that Attilio.
Does the city want to proceed without any actual eyewitness testimony to the violation?
I would prefer if this could be pulled and rescheduled.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so there's another case too that I didn't,
Is that also Attilio's?
yes.
We should reschedule that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
So for the record, for case CE 210800293, I'm going to postpone this to the next special magistrate hearing.
Also for the record, case number CE 211000380, case address 2480 Presidential Way, Unit 1904 is rescheduled. Okay. Agenda item number 24, case number CE 211200104, case address 520 51st Street.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in a business, which is a short-term rental. Certified mail was signed for on 12/16/2021. Last week, I did the inspection of the property, and it failed for not having screens. The windows were screwed shut, and there wasn't any water on the property. And speaking with the property manager that I did the inspection with, she had contacted a screening company and said it's going to take probably about till the end of February before they got out there because of chain supply issues. So the city is requesting 90 days to come into compliance because of that, or $200 a day thereafter.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Tim Wilson.
What is your relation to the property, Mr. Wilson?
I've been hired by the Foremans to manage their property.
So you're the property manager?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what's going on.
Well, we've, after the inspection, we hired multiple companies to come out and look at the windows and screens. We've actively corrected many of those items. We're waiting on a few screens, I think 3 in total, and we hope to have this completed in the next 7 to 10 days.
I think the city has suggested that I give you 90 days. Is that correct, Officer Levine?
This is not the individual that did the inspection. It was a female. And when I spoke to her on the phone last week, this is what she told me. So we agreed that we were going to do 90 days. But if he's going to get it in 7 to 10 days, we'll do the standard 30 days or $200 a day thereafter.
Yeah, just things move, you know, we acted as quickly as possible, and we're pressuring the vendors.
How much time do you need, sir?
7 to 10 days would be perfect.
I'll give you 30.
Thank you, sir.
All right, in case CE 211-20104, find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Find notice is sufficient. I give the property owner 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 17, case number CE 211-10272, case address 921 Fern Street, Unit 5.
Morning. Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 921 Fern Street was initially cited on 11/19/21. Certified mail was sent on 11/22/21. We do have a signed certified mail on receipt. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file, I should say. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 11/19/21. Property was cited for multiple violations. Let's see here. 18100 safe egress, 18-102-3 window screens, 18-103-B repairing of the roof walls, 18103C repair interior walls, 18103E external doors and windows disrepair, 18103G plumbing fixtures disrepair, 18103I supplied equipment requiring maintenance. More specifically, the tub, shower, sink areas requiring replacement, and also the window AC units not installed in a workmanlike fashion, closet doors in disrepair. 18106E unit requiring extermination due to a rat infestation. 18106G painting of the unit, and 18-95A electrical outlets in disrepair and or inoperable. This particular unit, unit number 5, there's multiple units there, but this particular notice pertains directly to unit number 5, which is the only unit that I was given access to. So I'm unclear in terms of what's the conditions of other units. This particular tenant called me with the complaint, and so when I went out, this is what we discovered. As far as I know, the respondent did show me some pictures, which seemed to depict that there was some work completed in the interim of all this. But as far as I know, I haven't personally observed the interior condition of the unit as of today. So what the city's requesting, again, with regard to unit number 5, the city's requesting 60 days in order to comply, or a fine of $200 per day be imposed. Once again, in speaking to the respondent, I understand that he's in the process or may have even evicted this particular tenant. And so I understand, there were some issues with this tenant, which things could get a little volatile. So That's another reason the city would like to extend 60 days in order to comply, or a fine of $200 per day be imposed.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Robert Mizell.
And what is your relationship to the owner, Fern Realty?
Through an LLC, I'm the principal owner.
So you're the principal owner of Fern Realty?
Excuse me?
You're the principal owner of Fern Realty?
Yes.
So tell me what's going on.
There was a tenant who was, all the other tenants were complaining about, and it was very tough. They had a lot of people coming in and out. There were only supposed to be 2 people sleeping there. There were a lot more. The tenants begged me to evict. I evicted. The tenant went kind of crazy. I showed Mr. Williams the pictures before she lived there, what it looked like, and she trashed the place. She took the stove, the refrigerator, punched holes in the walls, and the unit has to be fixed up. But I just recently got the tenant out, and that's basically the story.
The city has recommended that I give you 60 days to bring this property in compliance.
Yes.
Is that enough time for you to do what you need to do, sir?
It should be, I hope so.
All right, I'm gonna give you the 60 days. You should stay in touch with the officer and let him know
I will.
when the property comes into compliance, so that he can review it and make sure that you don't hit the deadline. All right, in case CE 211110272, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections, I give the respondent 60 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. Good luck with the unit, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 8, case number CE 21120018, case address 700 7th Way.
That's all right. That's it. Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On December 2nd, 2001, the property at 700 7th Way was cited for irreversible and irrecoverable in nature, hat racking prohibited, and trees removed without permits. Property was posted January 4th. Certified mail was sent December 16th. Certified mail was received December 30th. City Hall was also posted as well. I have been in contact with a representative of the property. We did go over the violations and what the city is requesting. With that being said, city's recommending a one-time fine of $250 for the hat racking and the trees removed without permit, and the irrecoverable trees removed from property. City's requesting a one-time fine of $2,000. In total, city's requesting a one-time fine of $2,250.
So let me understand correctly what happened here. So what the city is alleging here is that the tree was improperly pruned in a hat rack fashion, and then it was subsequently removed? Is that the case?
No, it's multiple trees. That's the hat rack trees. There's other trees in the neighborhood that are hat racked. There are other trees that are actually cut down and removed on the property. What it is, it's a big neighborhood, so there's tons of vegetation throughout the property. Well, I received a complaint with the trees being removed. I do have the complainant here that wants to speak.
Come on up. Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and address, please?
Yes, my name's Ellie Tam, and I live at 3207 32nd Way.
And you live in this in Sandalwood Lakes?
Yes, 27 years.
So tell me what's going on.
Well, they've, over the years, removed trees, and one day I was out there and they were hat racking rural point sanitaries, and I just knew that that was illegal. And as you go around the neighborhood, there have been many trees that have been removed. I have lots of pictures. And the stumps are ground and nothing's ever replanted. And our neighborhood is nothing but trees. It's the most valuable asset we have.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like me to know?
No, unless you want to see my pictures of stumps.
I think we're good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Officer McFarland, how many trees are we talking about here?
I've identified at least 3 trees removed.
And there's no permits for any of these removals?
No, no, sir.
And how many trees did you observe being improperly pruned?
Just 1.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Rita Scott.
Can you bring the mic down so you can, yeah, thank you.
Rita Scott.
And what is are you a officer of the village of Sandalwood Lakes?
I'm the property manager.
Okay. And were you authorized by the village to come speak here today?
Yes, I was.
So tell me what's going on.
I got the notice. We had a couple of trees that were diseased, and so we took them down, not realizing, but I know now, that I should have gotten a permit from the city, or permission from the city. That's my, I apologize for that, because I really didn't realize it until I talked to the code enforcement officer. And also, we have replaced 24 trees this year, or in 2021, excuse me. Actually, we received about 11 or 12 or more from Miss Hammond that we placed on the property. And she's seen them out there, so she's saying we don't replace. But those
Who do you
aren't
have doing your pruning? Because, you know, I'm not a tree expert, but that's a pretty clear version of hat racking.
Well, that was one of the trees that it was encroaching on the building, and they felt that they needed to get it away from the building, and they know now that's not to happen, so I don't know what to say. That we apologize for doing it, but we will know better in the future.
All right, well, I think the city's recommendation here is it's pretty reasonable. They could have hit you with an irreparable fine for every violation, and there are multiple here. So I'm just going to follow the city's recommendation. I'm going to recommend that you make sure that whoever you hire to do the trees understands what the requirements of the code are for pruning trees and removing trees.
Okay, thank you.
All right, in case CE 211200018, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I find the violations irreparable in nature. I issue a fine of $250 for improper pruning, and I issue a fine of $2,000 for removal of trees without a permit. Thank you for coming in.
Agenda item number 39, case number CE 2110299, case address 919 32nd Street.
Good morning, Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 919 32nd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on November 1st of 2021, and certified mail was sent on November 23rd of 2021. The property was cited for exterior paint, clean and sanitary, landscape maintenance, bare landscape, and outdoor storage. The property has since complied with the clean and sanitary and the outdoor storage. The landscape maintenance is partially completed. So the city, I've had contact with the owners. So for the exterior paint, the landscape maintenance, and the bare landscape, the city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Christopher Balsamo, I'm the property owner.
So tell me what's going on.
Well, I'd like to enter some of my own supporting documents into evidence.
Sure.
Where should I bring them?
You have to show them to the city attorney and the officer first.
They're each labeled by letter, so I'm going to go through them almost in chronological order, like A through F.
You'll see there's a printout of an email. I don't have an objection. The city wouldn't have an objection to the email. You'll see that there are photographs, which I don't readily see any time or date stamp, so subject to additional testimony.
Okay.
And there's also receipts. That's lettered A.
Okay, so tell me what I'm looking at.
Okay, so, Your Honor, first of all, I'd like to say this is not an example of me being derelict in duties or ignoring the violation. I was immediately responsive to it and believe that I brought the property into compliance myself. I'd like to point you first to Packet A, which shows 2 receipts from December 21st. The one receipt is a full pallet of grass, and the other receipt is 5 gallons of color-matched exterior paint. That same day, I laid all the sod myself, a full pallet, and also walked off the entire front visible part of the house, and to the best of my ability, painted any areas that looked like they might be discolored or in any way ugly facing the street.
When did you do this?
On December 21st. Okay, so getting into specifics now, we're going to go into the pictures. So Packet B represents the before pictures of the paint. So a lot of them are going to match the pictures that the code officer has already showed you, which shows some discoloration on the walls, which pretty much all the discoloration came from the roof material. When it rains, would run down the side of the house. I'm currently, right now, like today, my roofer's there finishing a full re-roof on the house. So I have a permitted full re-roof going on at that house yesterday and today. I believe they're going to be finished today. So that should help with some of the roof material discoloration going forward. Packet C represents my after pictures of when I painted that day, and then I came back a few weeks later when Ms. Clark informed me that she still believed the house was in violation. So I just took a series of pictures in Packet C, sort of showing, you know, the general condition of the paint of the house. Then I'd like to point you to Packet D, which is a representation of the grass that I planted. Those are all after photos of a full pallet of grass. And once you've had a chance to look through them, let me know and I'll continue.
Are you watering this? Because it looks awfully brown.
Well, I've asked my tenant to water it, but I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, in terms of the watering.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'd like to point you to the emails in G. You don't have to read through them all. I've sort of highlighted the most pertinent areas. And I'd like to take this time to point out the fact that I've tried numerous times to resolve this. I've asked Ms. Clark to meet me physically at the property to show me exactly what her issues were so I could resolve them, to avoid having to come here in person during a pandemic, if we're still calling it that. And I even informed her that my wife is pregnant and I have a baby at home, so I wanted to avoid coming here if possible. So it's not like I've been, like I said, derelict in my duties or ignoring the situation. And she flat out refused to meet me at the property and told me that the house still wasn't in compliance, which I'm objecting to. Additionally, I'd like to say that I believe these standards are unreasonable. And I'd like to point you to packet F of the pictures, which is a street view of the property, which, as you can see, there's an enormous shade tree, which is, as the last woman described, is an enormous benefit to the neighborhood. And that shade tree also makes it almost impossible to see the house from the street. So unless you're standing with a telephoto safari lens looking for smudges on a wall or a few bare areas in the middle of the winter where we're on the verge of drought at any point, I don't believe that it's reasonable, the standards that she's trying to hold me to. Furthermore, I tried on my own to look for examples to maybe help understand the standard that I was expected to be held to. So in terms of the grass, I looked on the city website to try to find some examples of what is deemed reasonable winter grass, not reasonable winter grass, bare, full. Because if you look hard enough, any property in the middle of the winter is not going to look so great, the grass. And I couldn't find anything on your website. So as a certified Florida plumbing contractor, I took it upon myself to look through the code book to see if there's anything that states specifically if new construction builds need irrigation systems. They do not. So 100-year-old houses, for sure, don't need irrigation systems, which makes the concept of being forced to plant pallets of sod in the middle of winter pretty absurd, in my opinion. But I did it anyway and tried my best. Now in terms of the paint, again, I looked on your website to try to understand what's considered paint in disrepair. Couldn't find it. As a certified general contractor also, I looked through the code book to look for some understanding of what that might be. And the only thing in the code book says that the house must be waterproofed, properly waterproofed, which it is. There's no evidence that it's not. So I'd like to point you to packet E, which then I decided, well, let me do a Google search. What's considered paint in disrepair? And that's what comes up on Google, those few representative photos, which is definitely not what the house is. The house is a pretty bokeh pink. I could paint it jet black so you'd never see any smudge on the wall, but I think that'd be worse for the neighborhood. So instead, I tried my best to color match the pretty house and make it look as best I could myself. I mean, that's pretty much it. So like I said, just to reiterate, I believe that I've done my best to bring the house into compliance, and I don't believe that the standards are reasonable that she's trying to hold me to. And I also don't appreciate that she refused to meet me physically in person at the property to help remedy the situation and mitigate the entire thing so we're not all wasting our time here in the middle of a pandemic. And that's it, Your Honor.
Magistrate, I must dispute that claim. Every time I've spoken to the property owner, which his request on meeting him is always very unreasonable because he doesn't live in that area. I've met the tenant there on several occasions where, as you can see, there are numerous pictures dated with different date and timestamp where I've actually gone to the property per his request to see whatever he has done. But as I've explained to him on those occasions, he did start sodding the property, but you can see from the pictures where it just completely stopped. The entire front is not sodded. There's still bare areas. And I have explained that to him, that those bare areas could be covered with sod or other plant material. So it doesn't necessarily have to be sod, but it wasn't remedied. As far as the paint, I've sent those pictures to the areas that need to be addressed. And you can see in those pictures as well, those are also dated and timestamped on the different days that I've gone to the property. That still hasn't been resolved.
Your Honor, if I may, I wasn't planning on bringing this up, but I need to in light of what she said. So a couple days ago, I had a conversation with my tenant, and when I told her I had to come to this hearing, she felt guilty and a little ashamed because she knows that my wife's pregnant and I have a baby at home. And so she told me that when the last time that she was there, she met the code officer, and she asked her to have me plant the rest of the grass, all resod the whole front of the house, and that she thought that I needed to paint the whole house too. So I actually believe that that the code officer is being used as an enforcer against me, like through the tenant.
Magistrate, when I went to go do the inspection.
Let me redirect this conversation. I don't want to get into what people perceive as motivations. My job here is actually a relatively simple one, which is to determine whether or not there are conditions on this property that constitute a violation of the code of the city of West Palm Beach. Beyond that, I'm not going to get into people's motivations or Google searches. So the only question to me, as it stands now, is does the city still believe that there are conditions on this property that constitute a violation? So tell me specifically what those are.
So with the paint, as you can see, like there are areas, and I've actually emailed the pictures to the property owner, the specific areas that needed to be addressed. In front of the entranceway, as you can see, it's leading up to the front door. It's discolored. On the side, it is as well. It looks like some sort of mold or like a lot of dirt buildup. And those pictures as well, I've emailed all of them to him as far as what needed to be addressed. And on the 13th, I think it's the 12th or the 13th, when I went to I've inspected the property a total of 3 times. It only requires 1 inspection. Every time he has called me, I've gone there and I've sent him pictures of those areas that needed to be addressed. They still haven't been addressed. And you can see that in the pictures of the discoloration of the paint.
Your Honor, if I may, I don't doubt that it is her opinion that what she's saying is accurate. But what I'm stating to you is I do not believe that that standard is consistent with what the city is looking to do here in terms of dragging people in who are making best efforts to comply with the code. And I just flat out disagree that the house has paint that's in disrepair and bare lawn in the middle of the winter after I just planted a full pallet of sod, which isn't a small amount.
Special Magistrate, can I just intercede here for a moment? I can appreciate what the respondent is indicating. However, our code inspector here has an abundant amount of experience and is using the standards that are put into place by the building codes and our ordinances, and is not doing so in any way arbitrarily or unreasonably. I believe she's testified to the multiple efforts that she has also made to make the respondent aware of what needs to happen. And as you mentioned briefly, the standard is not a Google search, and she's documented it, she's testified to it. I believe she's indicated what is still out of compliance. We don't, as a city, we don't drag respondents down here for hearings. we bring them in because of their notice of violation to discuss it as we're doing now, but we still believe as a city that it is out of compliance.
Well, I understand that, Your Honor, but I'm also not a typical homeowner. I don't live in New York, I live here. And like I said, I'm a certified general contractor and certified plumbing contractor. I build houses from the ground up. So, and I did the work myself. So I believe it's reasonable what I did, and I believe that maybe I should have a second opinion from a different code officer, because maybe her and I just don't see eye to eye on whether or not it is in compliance.
Well, this is what I see. I mean, I see evidence that there's still discoloration in the paint. I agree that it's improved from the earlier pictures to the later. Is it sufficient? It's close, but I mean, I think the officer's point that there are areas that are still discolored is fair. The question, and then, so there's only really two issues, right? Which is, does it need some more touch-up paint? I think it reasonably probably does need some, especially where the roof area caused discoloration. The second issue is, you say you put down a pallet of grass. It's not the amount of grass that the code section indicates. It's whether or not there are bare areas. And the code officer has shown that there are bare areas that need to be covered with some kind of plant material. So, I mean, I understand your point, which is you put a lot of work in here, and I recognize that. I'm certainly not trying to make it worse for you, but the officer's evidence does suggest that there needs to be a bit more work done here.
And I understand that, but I can't believe that it's a city standard that in the middle of the winter, every house has to look pristine with their grass when irrigation systems are not required.
That's not the standard. The standard is whether or not there is bare ground. In other words, is it covered? That's what the code requires. It's not that the code officer nor the attorney makes those rules. Those are made by the city council.
Okay, so what is it you recommend that we do? So this
What is the city seeking here?
The city is seeking an additional 30 days to trim the vegetation that are encroaching on the structure.
Well, that's
and-
something brand new that you hadn't previously mentioned.
Excuse me?
There's nothing in the code complaint about trimming vegetation.
There is. It's the code section that I cited for the violation to trim and
It's the first that we've heard of it today.
18106K.
I've actually spoken to the property owner about trimming the vegetation and the bare landscape. It's also written in the code section.
Was it noticed in the notice of violation?
Yes.
Not to my recollection, it wasn't. And like I said, I was trying to clear the entire violation, so I would have also
Can we call
trimmed
up
the
the
tree.
notice of violation?
I'm sorry, say again, sir.
Can we see the notice of violation?
But again, Your Honor, if she would like to meet me at the property and show me these things in person.
Hold on one second. Let's resolve this first before we move on to the second question. Because if you're right that it wasn't noticed, then the city can't hold you accountable.
I know, but it's so much more efficient for me and her to just go through it in person on the ground.
18106J.
K, 18106K.
18106K. Front and side yard landscaping shall be maintained in quarter. Okay, so, all right, so that was part of the notice. Okay.
And it's highlighted as, yes, right there.
So the city wants him to fix the vegetation, to finish the paint, and to landscape the areas that are not otherwise covered. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do to try and help you resolve this a little bit better. I'm going to give you 60 days instead of the 30 that the city is talking about, and I'm going to ask the city staff, somebody from the city staff, if the officer feels comfortable doing that, or if not, if another officer, to go out and walk your property with you at some point during this period, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Your Honor, may I request to work with a different code officer than her?
I don't have the authority to reassign code officers. You can speak to the staff about it, but that's beyond the scope of my authority. All right, in case CE 2111029, to make the following findings of fact and law. If a notice is sufficient, I find violations of 18106K, 18103J, and 94442C1. I'll give the respondent 60 days to come into compliance. I further request that the city meet with respondent on their property within the first 30 days at a time agreeable to both. If the property is not in compliance after 60 days, a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
So do you want these back, or do you want me to put them in the file?
Did we admit that into evidence?
We didn't formally admit it. Do you want it to be part of the case file? If you want it to be part of the case file, you have to leave with us. All right. All right, then I'm going to admit these into evidence as marked. And I'll put them over here for us to get later.
Agenda item number 38, case number CE 21110298, case address 910 32nd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 910 32nd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 1st of 2021.
Sorry, which number?
Certified mail was sent on November 20.
I don't think that he was sworn in.
Well, that's a problem. Sir, have you been sworn in?
No.
All right, would you please raise your right hand? Raise your right hand. Sorry. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury on the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
Officer Clark, the floor is yours.
Okay, 910 32nd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 1st of 2021, and certified bill was sent on November 23rd of 2021. The property was cited for exterior paint, landscape maintenance, unpaved parking, and a repeat violation for the exterior paint. I've had contact with the property owner. I've done several inspections after speaking to the property owner. As of January 12th, the property was still in violation. The property has since complied with Code Section 94-482A, which is the unpaved parking. It has also complied with the landscape maintenance. For the exterior paint, that one is the repeat violation. The city is asking for $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
How many days did you want to give them?
So far, 58 days.
I'm sorry, how many days did you want me to give them?
Oh,
anyway?
okay. Well, it's a repeat violation until it
I'm
comes
sorry.
into compliance.
So the landscape maintenance is in compliance?
Correct.
And the parking,
The parking and, yes.
that is in compliance?
So the only remaining violation is the exterior paint, and that one is the repeat violation.
So this was cited for paint previously, and it was corrected, and now it needs to be painted
Yes.
again?
It was cited under Code Section CE 2103048881 on May 5th of 2021, and it complied on May 21st. It was adjudicated.
What year was that?
2021,
And it needs to be painted again?
yes. So the roof needs to be pressure washed, and the suffix and fascia needs to be painted, as well as the rear. There's a small rear structure.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Cecil Goring.
And what is your relation to the owner of the property?
I'm the owner of the property, yes. The property is tenant occupied. The painting was corrected, and I guess the roof is, there's a tree next door, drops a lot of leaves on the roof, and it constantly gets the roof dirty. So
Sir.
that's what's causing the discoloration of the paint.
Did you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just gonna tell him to, when he was speaking, to speak into the microphone, but he's done speaking, so.
Officer Clark, can you tell me specifically what the 18103J exterior paint violation is?
So, as he stated, I'm assuming the discoloration is coming from the vegetation from that tree, but it's like on the roof, and then it kind of like washes over to the side, which is causing the discoloration, not on the roof, but also on the fascia, on the awnings, and the rear structure, well, that too. But the rear structure, there's a small rear structure that the paint is peeling off all the way. That needs to be painted as well.
When was the last time you were at the property?
On January 12th.
And at that time, those conditions existed on the
Yes.
property as you understood them?
I did speak to the tenant, and when I went on the 12th, he did advise that he would have someone do the work, but at that time, it wasn't completed. So I'm assuming he's responsible, as he's had a conversation with the owner.
So the city says you got paint to fix, huh?
Is the city asking the entire building to be painted over, both structures, or just part of it?
Just where the rear structure, where the paint is peeling and where it's discolored, that needs to be painted. That section right there needs to be painted. And the fascia, suffix, the awnings, and the roof needs to be pressure washed.
You think you can get that done?
Yes, sir. Can you give me 60 days to get that done?
The
See,
city has no
technically, since this is a repeat violation, the city's actually allowed to start fining you from the moment that they see a violation repeat itself. And the reason that they do that is so that this doesn't happen, which is that you end up back here for the same violations over and over again. But what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to give you 30 days before I start assessing the fine to fix this, because it seems like a relatively small thing to do. And it does seem like you at least took some action on the landscape maintenance and the parking. But this is my my one-time get-out-of-jail-free card for repeat violation, because if this shows up again, I'm just going to assess it from the moment they find it. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. As far as the repeat violation, that tree that's next door, it continues to drop a lot of leaves on the roof. And
Yeah, I don't have a solution for that, but certainly talk to the officer, and maybe she can give you some suggestions about what you can do to keep your property in compliance, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, in CE 211110298, to make the following findings of fact and law, I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 18103J. I hereby give the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Agenda item number 25, case number CE 21120106, case address 1025 Sunset Road. This respondent also needs to be sworn in.
Needs to be sworn in.
I'm sorry?
The respondent needs to be sworn in.
Oh, he hasn't been sworn in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury on the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
Officer Levine, City of West Palm Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence.
Officer Levine, can you speak a little closer to the mic? Thanks.
Sorry. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in a business which is vacation rental. Certified mail was signed for on 12/17/2021. On last Thursday, I did the inspection of the property, and it failed for screens again, with a stripping around the front door. And during the inspection, the respondent and I had a conversation, and he requested 90 days to come into compliance because of chain supply issues, or $200 a day thereafter. He's going to explain to you what he has done thus far.
All right, let me see if I got this, because you talked really fast there. So there's this property is being rented.
Yes, sir. Vacation rental.
Vacation rental. It doesn't have a rental license. He's applied for one, and it failed the inspection.
There's an application in the system. He just failed the inspection because of screens and where the stripping around the front door.
All right. So he's trying to get it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was the reason for why he failed?
Screens in the windows and where the stripping around the front door.
Okay. So nothing that major.
Beg your pardon?
Nothing that would take a long time to do.
Well, except for the screens, because I spoke to him this morning, and he already has someone working with, but I would prefer that he explain the situation to you, see that he's working with the contractor.
All right. And so how much time did you want to give him?
90 days or $200 a day thereafter.
All right. Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
John Devaney.
John
Devaney.
Ebony?
Devaney.
Devaney. All right, Mr. Devaney, what is your relation with Hestia LLC?
I own it.
So you're the owner of that LLC?
Yes, sir.
So the city says that you need a rental license, and but you failed the inspection, and they want to give you 90 days to bring the property into compliance so that you can pass the inspection. Does that sound reasonable to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, sir.
All right, in case CE 211-20106, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Respondent has 90 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Confirming we have no other respondents present. Okay.
Back to the top.
Okay, I've been asked to call number 5. Case number CE 21120-128, case address 421 28th Street.
We didn't do 3 or 4, right?
No, I've been asked to call this one specific, and then we'll jump back in order.
Good enough. Officer Petrick.
All right. Good morning, Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case in reference to a fence that was put up without a permit at a single-family residence. A notice of violation was issued via certified mail and posted at City Hall and at the property on December 13th, and gave the respondent 30 days to obtain a permit for the fence. I have not heard from the respondent. However, according to the city's records, a permit was applied for on December 15th. As of January 5th, the city records also indicate that more information is needed to complete the permitting process. Generally, the respondent is notified by email by either the permitting department or the individual doing the planning review of that. That's what appears to what have happened in the city's records when I viewed them yesterday. But as of today, the property remains in violation of Florida Building Code 105.1, failure to secure a building permit, and Florida Building Code 110.3, required inspections, as the permit have not yet been obtained, even though it's been applied for. The city is asking for compliance, which means the building permit to be obtained within 30 days, or a $50 a day fine be assessed.
Which fence is it? Is it the white one or the
It's
big?
the beige, or the, let's see, we'll go back over. Right there, you see it along, right, that one right there.
That's a new fence. Okay.
That's a new fence.
Have you had any communication with the respondent?
No, none at all. I tried knocking on the door a few times. I tried knocking on the door when the property was posted. I just haven't any luck getting in touch with
these
them.
ones, especially with people that are not used to working with the permitting process, I always wonder if they understand that that just submitting it is not enough, that they need to follow up.
Agreed. That's why I tried to knock on the door a few times on my travels in the area to see if I can get him. Because once I saw that he applied for it on the 15th, that was my thoughts exactly.
I don't know what else you can do, and I'm not sure what else I can do, but other than do what I'm going to do right now, which is in case CE 21120-128, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1 and 110 FBC. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance, or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue. Maybe you can swing by there one more time and give it a shot.
Okay. Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, case number CE 21110-251, case address 5117 51st Way has complied. Agenda item number 3, case number CE 21120-188, case address 735 20th Street.
Good morning. Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 735 20th Street was originally cited on December 15th of 2021 for an inoperative vehicle, outside storage and parking requirements. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on December 17th of 2021, as well as City Hall. The outdoor storage ordinance that was used in this case, I'd like to have that actually stricken from the record, because it is in an adjudicated case where there is an active fine that's running. So the two ordinances that are actually standing with this case is 94-482-A and 34-102-B.
If I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that there's been an adjudication of a violation under 94-315B1 that is currently unresolved?
That is correct.
Okay.
Those two violations are still active. The city is asking that those violations come into compliance within 10 days or $100 per day thereafter.
So we're talking about those cars.
The inoperable vehicle and the unpaved parking.
And it's inoperable because it's what, not licensed, or?
I'm not sure if it's not licensed, but I do know for a fact that it's not working, it's not running. I did have a conversation with one of the tenants that actually lives inside and said that they were trying to make preparation to have the vehicle up and running and moved before a court hearing today, but that did not happen.
And notice was certified mail and posting?
That is correct. The actual white vehicle is also part of an adjudicated case of an inoperable vehicle where there's an actual lien that has been placed on it.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me about those.
Okay.
All right, in case CE 2112018, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 34102B and 94482A. Respondent has 10 days to come into compliance. What fine were you looking for?
I'm sorry,
What fine amount were you looking for?
$100 per day, 10 days.
Or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 4, case number CE 2112045, case address 5909 Parker Avenue.
Good morning, Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 12/13/2021. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on 12/14/2021. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 12/15/2021. I have been in contact with the manager of the property. The property was cited for fence/wall repair 94-302-A-4. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 60 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, the city is asking for $250 a day until compliance is achieved. And I did speak with the property manager, and he agreed. You know, I gave him 60 days to get the wall fixed. He said they're going to most likely replace the whole thing because that wall is falling. And the tenants of the property are the ones that put that fence up, the orange
Emergency
fencing.
fence?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have kids and a dog.
Yeah, that doesn't look too safe, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Is the city, well, I guess they have that other fence to keep the kids away. The city isn't concerned that this needs an immediate,
Yeah, absolutely. But when
I
was
guess
speaking-
what I'm asking you is.
Well, when I was speaking with the manager, it's going to take some time for them to do because this wall goes a long way down, and they want to replace the whole thing. So that's why I was giving them the 60 days to do it and get it done.
Yeah, that part I understand. I guess the question is that, you know, I guess I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but the question, because of the way that it's leaning and it's obviously made out of, you know, fairly heavy materials, is whether or not the city has concerns that, you know, that there needs to be an abatement or some type of way to restrict access to it in the current condition. You know, and I can't tell that from, you know, just the portion I'm looking for. If you think that it's sufficiently blocked off with the fence, then.
Well, there's a distance between that fence and the wall. So, I mean, they don't let anybody go over in that area. It's probably like a good, 15, 20 feet from the wall to that orange fence.
And they don't allow anyone to go in that area, to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
What do you think? Put the city attorney on the spot here.
I do see the photo where there's the orange fence that is separating part of the concrete wall that appears to be leaning, so I see what our inspector is saying in terms of that may be taken care of if, in the opinion of yourself, Mr. Magistrate, you believe that it rises to the level of a safety issue that could
All right,
really
this is what I'm going to
be a
do,
problem.
and let me know if you. So I'm going to suggest something here, and so I'll give them the 60 days to replace the wall, but I'm going to ask within 7 days that they take efforts to make sure that there is not access for children or others to this area. So they take, and I'm going to ask that you go out there and make sure that they do this.
Sure.
Because I don't want to come back here and learn that this wall fell on a child or something.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, in case CE 21120-145, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 94-302A4. I'm going to order the respondent to come into compliance within 60 days. I'm going to order the respondent within 7 days to take precautions to block off this wall, the damaged portion of this wall, from access that prevents access from children or others.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6, case number CE 21110107, case address 710 10th Street.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. The property certified mail was returned to the city on 11/18/2021. Property was posted on 1/7/2022. The property was cited for safe egress, extermination of pests, meaning lots of rats, dwelling in disrepair floors were being weather tight, repair roof walls and foundation, external doors and windows are needing in weather tight, bathroom and kitchen floors are in need of repair, exterior painting is required on portions of the building, litter, trash, and debris, landscape requirements, the electrical breaker box in Unit 8 is in disrepair. Junk inoperable vehicle, obstruction of the public right-of-way with the dumpster screening, landscaping of property, landscaping of swell, paving and marking of parking lot, and resurfacing of parking lot. This was a case that was generated from tenant complaints, which 3 units, 6, 7, and 8. And since citing and posting the building in January, I've heard from every tenant in the building in regards to the rats. So I'm asking for 10 days on the rat eradication, and I want a licensed pest control company, and I want a receipt of proof of extermination. And the rest of the violations, I'm asking for 45 more days or $300 per day. I have not had any contact with property owner, and all of the overhanging vegetation from side property, I've had all that cut back, trying to mitigate the rat situation. That didn't do. So I'm assuming it's the building. And I've seen more rats than I care to mention.
So you've seen rats on the property?
Yeah, I have photos of them. They're photos of they're not mice, they're rats.
Lovely. So let's, you used a lot of the code book here, so if I'm going to make findings, I got to walk through a little of these so I can make sure there's evidentiary support for them, which is fine. I just want to go through them with you. So the safe egress is, what's the issue there?
He has air conditioning units and windows that only have one window in a bedroom. So you don't have any egress to the outside from that particular area.
Okay, you've already testified that you saw rats there, so I think we're pretty good on 18-102-4.
Yes.
What is the weather tight issue?
Let me see. It's several windows that the window seals are leaking. So when it blows rain, water comes into the unit. That's also with the doors. And one corner of the building, it's a corner window. He removed the entire window, and that's a CBS block building, but he replaced it with wood. So he didn't seal it properly, so it rains through that entire crack around that portion of the building, which you can
Okay.
see in one of the photos.
All right, I think you've established that one.
That one right there.
The repair rotten wood,
Yes,
repair
right.
walls?
Gotta be. It's being compromised by water.
Okay. You've already testified that the windows and doors are not watertight.
Yes.
The kitchen floor, is that in need of repair?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what's wrong with the kitchen floor?
It's where the laminate flooring is also having water intrusion. So it's actually coming up from the base of the floor, base floor.
Is this building habitable?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. It ain't falling around about on them, but with these rats, you know, not in my opinion, I wouldn't live there with all these rats.
All right, I saw the exterior paint. I saw the litter, trash, and debris. The landscaping was the overgrowth of plants along the side of the building, was that it?
Landscaping was for not having any at all. It's nothing but dirt around this building. The overgrowth was from a budding property, which I had that property taken care of for as the overgrowth to his building, trying to mitigate the rats problem, but that didn't work.
The electrical panel is not working correctly?
Not working correctly. Got missing breakers in the panel itself.
There are junk vehicles on the property?
Yes, you got one there without, it's not operable and it's without a license plate.
Okay. You testified that the dumpster is blocking the right-of-way?
Yes, sir.
It's not screened?
Yes, sir.
I can see the absence of grass along the side of the building. Sodding, got it.
Mm-hmm.
The parking lot is not striped?
No, sir, it's not striped. It needs to be properly striped and maintained.
In all seriousness, does the building department need to take a look at this building and maybe,
I posed the pictures to them, and they said it really didn't come up to their standard to go in and check it out. He said that the plugs that need to be in the breaker box are just needing to have the plugs. I don't know if you know what that means, but breakers have the little switches where it go off and on, but then there's some that are missing the actual breaker. And he said they just need to put the plugs in. I don't know what that means myself, so.
yeah, I don't know either, but certainly can't, we can just do our jobs,
Yeah,
right?
anytime I have something that requires expertise beyond my own, I do inquire with the building department.
Yeah, I mean, but you've got like 17 code sections in this case. That's it makes me wonder about the building. I certainly feel badly for anyone that has to live in these conditions. I don't know. Maybe you can refer it back to the building department again. But all right, in case CE 2110107, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient, and I find the property in violation of all of the listed code sections, which I am not going to repeat again since there are 17 of them. As to 181024, which is the extermination of pests, I'm going to give the respondent 10 days to bring that into compliance by providing proof of extermination service. If they do not bring that into compliance, I'm going to issue a fine of $250 per day.
Thank you.
Until that comes into compliance. As the remaining code sections, I'll give the respondent 45 days or a fine of up to $300 per day. 45, 300.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, case number CE 211-10111, case address 1413 6th Street has complied. Agenda item number 9, case number CE 2112-0023, case address 1001 Green Pine Boulevard, Unit A2.
Always working, sorry. Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On December 3rd, 2021, the property at 1001 Green Pine Boulevard, Unit A2, was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. Notice was achieved by certified mail on December 6th, was sent. Certified mail was received December 8th. I have been in contact with the property owner. He has admitted that the property is being rented. He submitted the application and paid the fees. The only thing remaining is a completed inspection. With that being said, the city is recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
So just let me confirm, you spoke with the owner of the property and he confirmed that it is being rented?
Correct. I emailed him up to yesterday and we spoke on the phone. We were just trying to get the unit inspected so it can be in compliance.
So the application is in, it's just?
Yep.
Okay, so 30 days would be plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, in case CE 211-20023, I make the following finding of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 10, case number CE 2110216, case address 1601 44th Street.
Good morning, Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 1601 44th Street was cited on 11/16/21. Notice of violation in City Hall was posted on 11/17/21. Property was cited for unpaved parking, obstruction of right-of-way, and inoperable vehicle. As of this morning, the obstruction of right-of-way was complied, and the unpaved parking was also complied. The inoperable vehicle is still on the property. I have spoken to the owner, and she's requesting additional 30 days to come into compliance and or $100 a day until compliance is achieved. She's having an issue getting a date with DMV to get the car insured and licensed, so she's requesting additional time to get that done.
So we still have 34102A and 9442A?
We have the inoperable vehicle left, yes.
So she has an inoperable vehicle on the property, and it's parked, I guess it's still parked in that unpaved area?
No, the unpaved parking was complied, and the obstruction of right-of-way was also complied. There was another car, not that car, there was another car there as well.
So it's just this junk or abandoned vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. And you want to give her 30 days?
Correct.
All right, case CE 2110216. Make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the respondent in violation of 34102A. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 11, case number CE 2111017, case address 631 46th Street.
Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 631 46th Street was cited on 11/16/21. Notice of violation in City Hall was posted on 11/17/21. Property was cited for outdoor storage. As of this morning, the property is still not in compliance. I have not made contact with the homeowner. City is requesting additional 30 days to come to compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
I'm sorry, Chris, did you say certified was sent?
Yes, 11/17.
Sorry, I missed that.
So this is just about the outside storage?
Yeah, I haven't seen the pictures yet. Yeah.
Well, just tell me what the outside storage is.
They have wood. I guess they're doing renovation inside the house, and they have a lot of wood under the carport area. So you'll see it in a minute here. There.
Okay. All right, case CE 211110217. I make the following findings, fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 9471C. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 12, case number CE 211202290, case address 401 South Chillingworth Drive.
Good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was originally cited on December 22nd, 2021. Certified mail was sent out December 23rd, 2021. That was returned December 29th, 2021. The property was hand-delivered and City Hall was posted on December 30th, 2021. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary conditions. There's trash and debris all over the property. 7434A, 1J, the garbage can being in place in view of the public. 9442A for the vehicles parked in the grass or unpaved surfaces of the property in the swell. 9447B-1, the prohibited vehicle there parked in the driveway, the Bobcat skid loader. And 9471-C, the outdoor storage that's there in the picture. There are different, various items. The city is requesting 15 days to bring the property into compliance or a $150 a day fine thereafter.
Are all these code sections still at issue?
As of this morning, yes.
You said you've had no contact with the owner?
No, sir.
Have you seen any evidence that they're trying to bring this property into compliance?
As of this morning, no. Everything that's in the pictures is still there.
Did they take the posting off the door?
It was hand delivered to the owner's daughter who lives in the home.
Well, I guess that's the best you can do.
Yes, sir.
In case CE 211-20290, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 18106A, 7434A1J, 94482A, 9447B1, and 9471C. Respondent has 15 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $150 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 13, case number CE 21120303, case address 1543 44th Street.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was originally cited on December 23rd, 2021. Certified mail was sent December 29th, 2021. That was received December 31st, 2021. The property as well as City Hall was posted on December 30th, 2021. I also have had no contact with the owner for this address. They were originally cited for 18265, their boarding certificate that was needed. For 9442A, again, parking in the grass or unpaved surfaces of the property. 9471-C, outdoor storage, the various items that are stored out in the front yard of the home. And FBC 1001.1, requirements for egress. To date, 18265 and FBC 1001.1 have been complied. So it's just a 9442A for the parking on the grass or unpaved surfaces, and 9471-C for the outdoor storage that is current on the home as of this morning. Again, I've had no contact with the owner, so the city is requesting 15 days to bring the property into compliance or a $150 a day fine thereafter.
So they opened the windows, huh?
Pretty much, yes.
I guess that wasn't too hard to do, right?
No.
But the last time you were there, you saw cars parked on the grass?
Yeah, they've removed 2 of the vehicles from the grass, and they've started to clean up some of the items there in the front yard, but they still have a little ways to go.
And you said you had no contact with them?
No, sir.
All right, in case CE 211-20303, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 9442A and 9471C. Respondent has 15 days to come into compliance or fine of $150 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 14, case number CE 21110293, case address 832 30th Court.
Good morning. J. Francis, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 832 30th Court was cited on 11/22/21. Certified mail was sent on 11/23/21. Certified mail was returned on 12/5/21 with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 12/10/21. This property was cited for inoperative vehicle, excessive overgrowth, exterior paint, and fence repair. I have not made contact with the owner. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to come into compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
So where's the excessive growth?
It's towards the back. I gotta go back. Behind the vehicles.
Okay. And what is the paint issue?
By the front door, lower, the white area.
Is that truck the junk or abandoned vehicle?
Yes, the truck, and there's another car that's there with flat tires, and the tag is expired.
That vehicle is not operable. Oh, then that's expired tag, is that it? And what's the fence? Oh, that's the fence there?
One little small broken piece of ply.
I can't really see the fence. Just tell me what's wrong with the fence?
There's a
Oh, there it is.
small broken piece of ply right there.
Is it that it's inoperable or that it looks discolored? Is there something wrong with the fence?
Yeah, it's broken all the way down.
Oh, is it broken?
Yeah.
Okay. You said you wanted to give them 60 days?
Yes.
Why 60 days?
I've seen an elderly person goes in and out of the property. I'm not sure if it's the property owner. I just wanted to give him ample time if that was indeed the property owner.
All right. In case CE2111023, I make the following findings of fact in law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106B, 18106G, 34102A, 94302A4. Responded at 60 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Yeah.
Agenda item number 15, case number CE 2110320, case address 801 29th Street has complied. Agenda item number 16, case number CE 2111020, case address 1320 Longwood Street.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 1320 Longwood was initially cited on 11/5/21. Certified mail was sent on 11/8/21. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 11/8/21. Property was cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary, 18106B is excessive growth, 18106G, painting of the structure, areas of the structure, 74-34-A-1-J, garbage can placement, and 94-71-C, outdoor storage. I have not had any contact with the owner or the tenants there. Upon my last inspection, the only thing that I noted was there was pretty fair amount of effort given to it, was the excessive growth. We will comply that section, but all other code sections remain out of compliance. This particular property seemingly is always out of sorts. And so for that reason, the city would like to give them 20 additional days in order to comply, or a fine of $150 per day be imposed.
So we're looking at trash and debris on the property, which I can see in the picture. The paint, I assume, is the door?
Yeah, the door area.
The garage I saw was the garbage can. I guess, does the garbage can just sit out there? Is that it?
The garbage can is mostly there, ongoing, pretty much every day.
And that's a lot of outdoor storage, huh?
Yeah, it's this property is it's pretty much always out of sorts.
So you wanted to give them 20 days, and how much a fine?
$150.
I don't see why this couldn't be done in 20 days.
I think that's ample time as well.
All right, in case CE 211102120, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106A, 18106G, 7434A1J, and 9471C. Respondent has 20 days to bring the property in compliance, or $150 per damnation.
Agenda item number 18, case number CE 2112011, case address 1132 Okeechobee Road.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 1132 Okeechobee Road was initially cited on 12/8/21. Certified mail was sent on 12/10/21. We do have a signed certified, correction, the certified mail receipt, the certified mail was returned, I should say. Property as well as City Hall was posted on 12/9/21. Property was cited for 18106B, excessive growth, 18106A, clean and sanitary, and 78-94-C, maintenance of the swell area, this is actually in the rear of this particular property.
I think you got your shadow.
Yeah, hasn't been cut in a very long time. No contact with the owner.
Is this an occupied property?
It is an occupied property. It's actually a commercial property, and what they do inside, they do some type of restoration to furniture. So there's people there all day, every day working. I've even spoken to them.
How long have those mattresses been sitting out there?
They've been there for at least a month and a half. And actually, with regard to this particular property, it went to a hearing previously, and there are fines running. The last time I checked, the fines were $54,000 and running. It's running a daily fine of $150 per day on a previous notice. What the city would like to do with regard to this case is get an immediate abatement to abate the current situation with the grass and the mattresses due to the fact that it constitutes a health and safety issue as evidenced by the high grass and weeds and the mattresses.
Tell me why you think it's health and safety.
It certainly does create a haven for snakes and vermin, and also you could get homeless people sleeping on the mattresses back there.
No contact with the owner, huh?
No contact with the owner. I've spoken to the tenants there, but no contact with the owner.
And they're not picking up their certified mail.
No. I was actually kind of surprised because the person who actually owns this property owns several commercial properties, and when they were cited on the first notice that they did not comply, they made contact with me, indicated that they were going to take care of the violations. However, they never did. And so once again, those violations are probably about $60,000.
All right, well, I can't speak to those, but I can address this one. In case CE 2112011, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 18106B, 18106A, and 7894C. I make further finding that said violations constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. I order the respondent to bring the property into compliance within 7 days. In the absence of compliance, I authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all of these violations. I hereby assess the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 23, case number CE 2111047. Case address 319 Clematis Street, Unit 212.
Good morning once again, Officer Levine, City of West Palm. This business, Big Back Incorporated, was cited for failure to obtain a business tax receipt.
Officer Levine, I really got to get you to talk louder. My hearing is not what it used to be.
Okay, I'm sorry. This business was cited for failure to obtain a business tax receipt and BTR penalties. Certified mail was returned and City Hall, and the business was posted on 1/7/2022. There's no application in the system. There was no contact with the business owner. Information about this business was obtained from property management, so the city is requesting a one-time fee of $250 for this business.
Sorry, so the city is seeking what, a one-time fine of $250?
Yes, sir.
Were you seeking a number of days for compliance or not?
Just the one-time fee, sir.
So let me just make sure I understand correctly. So there is a business being operated on this property?
In that unit, yes.
What is the business, just out of curiosity?
It says Big Back. I don't know what kind of business it is.
But I guess the owner of the property indicated to you that there was a business being operated on this property?
Yes, I got an email from property management listing all the businesses in that building. It's a multi-story building, 10 floors.
Big Bach Inc.?
Yes, sir.
What is that? A piano business? I don't know.
I'm not going to assume, because some of the businesses inside it, when you look at the name, it's you wouldn't think it's a financial company, or one was a health.
No, I don't think either one of us is qualified to make those kind of guesses. Maybe you're probably a little more qualified than me. But in case CE 211-10147, I make the following findings of fact, and I find notice is sufficient on the property in violation of the listed code sections. I issue a one-time fine of $250.
Agenda item number 26, case number CE 2112-0108, case address 1205 Georgia Avenue.
This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in business, which is a short-term rental. Certified mail was signed for on 12/11/2021. There's no application in the system, and I've had no contact with the property owner. And as of this morning, the property is still being advertised as a short-term vacation rental. The city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance at $200 a day thereafter.
Did you say that it's still being offered for rental?
That's the last listing there as of this morning. Monica, we go back to...
So they signed the receipt, but they didn't reach out to you?
No, sir.
Hope they respond to their renters better.
As you can see, this is for April, I think.
It's a nice looking place. $2,500 for 7 nights?
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 21120-108, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 2232A, 82-151, and 18-162. I give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance, or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 27, case number CE 21110-150, case address 370 Marlborough Road.
Good morning, Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on November 9th, 2021. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall on property on December 1st, 2021, and certified mail was sent on November 30th, 2021. This property was cited for codes 18106A, 18106K, 744C4, and 7894-C. I have not made contact with the property owner. At this time, code 744C4 and 7894-C are complied. The property is still in violation for codes 18106A and 18106K. The city is requesting an additional 10 days to gain compliance, or $50 a day until compliance is achieved. This property, they cut the landscape and the swale in the front of the property, but the rear of the property still have overgrowth.
Do we have a picture of that?
Yes, it's coming up.
Okay. And what's the clean and sanitary? Is there trash along the or tree?
Right, and in the front, they have like bottles and is a garbage bag.
All right, so all they really need to do is pick up the trash and
All right, and
cut and trim the landscaping.
and the rear of the property, correct?
Yeah. Okay, so 10 days seems reasonable for that. In case CE 2110150, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient for the property in violation of 18106A and 18106K, respondent has 10 days to bring the property in compliance or fine at $50 per day, may issue.
Agenda item number 28, case number CE 21120008, case address 712 Gotham Court, Unit A.
Sonny Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on December 12, 2021. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall and property on December 2nd, 2021. Certified mail was sent on December 3rd, 2021. This property was cited for codes 18106A, 18106B, 7434A1H, 744C4, and 7894C. I have not made contact with the property owner. At this time, codes 18106B, 744CA, and 7894C are now complied. The property is still in violation of codes 18106A and 7434A1H. The city is requesting additional 10 days to gain compliance or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
So they addressed everything except for the trash?
Correct. So they cut the landscape swale as well as the hedges, and they just left the pile of trash around the property on the driveway. I mean, you'll see more photos of what it looks like. And I inspect the property a couple times, and it seems like the trash is just getting worse.
This is a strange case where they did the hard stuff and not the easy stuff, huh? All right, in case CE 211200008, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 18106A and 7434A1H. I'll give the respondent 10 days to bring that into compliance or a fine of up to $50 per day, may issue.
Agenda item number 29, case number CE 21120143, case address 2741 Parker Avenue.
Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on December 13, 2021. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall and property on December 13, 2021. Certified mail was sent on December 13, 2021. The property was cited for codes 18106K, 7434A1H, and 9471C. I have not made contact with the property owner. At this time, code 18106K is complied. The property is still in violation of code 7434A1H and 9471C. The city is requesting additional 10 days to gain compliance or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
So they fixed the landscaping, but you still have a trash can and outdoor storage?
Correct, on the side of the property.
And you said you had no contact with the owner?
Correct.
All right, in case CE 211200143, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, on the property in violation of 7434A1H and 9471C, respondent has 10 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per day, may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 30, case number CE 211-20236, case address 1114 Van Deventer Street has complied. Agenda item number 31, case number CE 211-00295, case address 624 51st Street.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited October 21st. Certified mail was sent October 22nd. Certified mail was received October 23rd. This property was cited for 18-100, 18-106B, 18-106M, 74-34A-1J, 74-4C-1, 74-4C-5, and 94-302A-3. I've had no communication at all with anyone who resides there. The city is requesting 30 days at $50 per day after.
You said notice was by certified mail and posting?
Yes, sir.
What's the egress issue here?
On the other side, they had a couple of windows that were boarded, and actually, I misquoted that. The egress is the only one that is complied. They had boards on the front window right there, and they took them down. So that's my apologies on that one.
So 18100 is no longer an issue?
No, that one is not. They had it on the front windows. I told, looking at it, the side windows were fine because they're a homeowner occupant, and I noticed that there were air conditioners being held in by the wood on the side windows, but they seem to have taken down the front one.
All right, the excessive growth, is that in the back there?
Yeah, the back and the front, and you can see all the dead foliage on the trees and on the side there as well.
Yeah, I see that. Minutes of landscaping, I can see. The garbage can placement is out front.
Yeah, it's still currently out front as of yesterday morning.
So what's the hurricane? Oh, is that growth over there?
Yeah, there's growth there, and there's a lot of the dead foliage like that laying all over the property on both sides.
Dead foliage, okay. Clean of the right-of-way, is that because there's debris there?
Yes, sir.
And the fence?
The fence was there's no permit at all for the fence being installed, but there's a fence there. There seems to have been a new section on the other side where the garbage can is that seemed to be replaced, but there's no permit in the system at all for having a fence.
You said you've had no contact with the owner?
No, none at all. I've seen people come and go, but no one has actually called or responded, and I left another card in the door. You just stick a card in the door in the middle of the week, and I've had no response from anyone.
They took the posting down off the door?
Yep.
All right, in case CE 211-00295, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106B, 18106M, 7434A1J, 744C1, 744C5, and 94302A3. Give the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 32, case number CE 211-00434, case address 714 52nd Street.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited October 28th. Certified mail was sent October 29th. Certified mail was received November 1st. This property was cited for 18-106A, 18-106B, 18-106G, 34-102A, 78-6, and 94-71C. As of yesterday, none of the violations have come into compliance. The city is requesting 30 days or $100 per day after. And I've spoke to this homeowner on 2 different occasions. She told me that the vehicle belonged to her son that was in college, and it would be aired up and moved, and the tag would be on it, and the trash and debris would be cleaned up, but nothing has been done as of yesterday morning.
I see the excessive growth. I see the trash and debris. What's the paint issue? Does the property need to be
Yeah,
painted?
it'll come around the front. And there are actually closer images too that will populate on the front, on the pillars on each side. There's a few other pictures that show the side as well,
Okay.
and the fascia board.
I saw that vehicle and it doesn't have a
No, I saw all 4 flat tires, and
Okay.
she told me herself that there wasn't a tag on it.
the number's still not on the property?
Say again?
There's no address numbers?
Yeah, it's missing one of the numbers up there. It just comes up as 14. There's no 7.
Okay. And what's the outdoor storage?
In the other picture that I should populate, in the front area, there was some things outside, and that stuff that's in the back right there is still there.
All right, in case CE 211000434, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 18106B, 18106A, 18106G, 34102A, 78-6, and 9471C. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $100 per day measure.
Agenda item number 33, case number CE 211000437, case address 713 52nd Street.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited October 28th. Certified mail was sent October 29th. Certified mail was received November the 3rd. This property was cited for 18-106A, 18-106B, 26-35-B, 74-4C-3, and 94-302A-4, and 94-71C. All violations have come into compliance. It's here because of the repeat violation. The repeat violation came into compliance on December the 15th. It went for a total of 48 days, and the city is requesting $100 per day.
Are all these code sections repeat, or is only one of these?
No, the repeat are the clean and sanitary and outdoor storage.
And how long ago were those cited?
They were actually, when I cited the property is when I noticed that they were out of compliance for the repeat. The homeowner called me on December the 14th to let me know that everything had been cleaned up, the fence and stuff had all been repaired, and that the repeat violation was now in compliance. And I went by the following day and did the images that everything had been brought into compliance.
When was the original citation for clean and sanitary and outdoor storage?
The original was... This thing is showing it. Yeah, if one of you apply for 7/13/52nd, I didn't have it. The last violation for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Actually, go to the images where the files are. And all right, sorry about that. That one came into compliance on the 23rd of March. The 23rd of March.
I don't see them being cited for 18106.
It should be 94-71C. Yeah, it's 94, sorry, that's 94-71C.
I definitely see the outdoor storage. Doesn't look like the clean and sanitary is a repeat, though.
No, it seemed to have been just the outdoor storage.
All right, so in case CE 211000437, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property was a violation of 9471C. That constitutes a repeat violation. Under 2634B, I'm going to issue a fine of $50 per day for each day that they were not in compliance, which was, what, 40 days? Is that correct?
Let me go back here. 48 days.
So $50 at 48 days. $2,400 if I do my math correct.
Agenda item number 34, case number CE 211-10023, case address 702 50th Street, complied. Agenda item number 35, case number CE 2112024, case address 742 53rd Street.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited December the 20th. Certified mail was sent December 21st. Certified mail was returned. City Hall was posted December the 20th. This property was cited for 18-214-B and 18-216C. None of the violations have come into compliance. They're all, still currently there. I was there on the December the 18th with the new property manager, and they had just served the eviction notice for the 742 unit. So they put up boards on there, and as of this morning, they were applying for their boarding certificate. But the next door, 744, one of the vagrants technically moved in and had mail coming there, so they had to file a new eviction notice for the next adjacent unit.
So what's the city seeking here?
The city is requesting 60 days just by the time period it's taken for the eviction notices to get filed, at $100 per day after, to board and secure the following unit.
All right, in case CE 2112024, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Respondent have 60 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 36, case number CE 2110041, case address 961 39th Street.
Welcome back.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 961 39th Street was cited on December 8th of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 13th of 2021, and certified mail was sent on December 9th of 21. The property was cited for inoperative vehicle and unpaved parking. I've had no contact with the property owner. The city is asking for an additional 15 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
You said you did certified mail and posting?
Certified mail was returned. The property and City Hall were posted.
Okay. And we know the vehicle's inoperable?
Correct.
How do we know it's inoperable?
It has an expired tag on
The
it.
tag is expired. All right, in case CE 2110041, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 34102B and 9442A. Respondent has 15 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 37, case number CE 2111091, case address 938 33rd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 938 33rd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 1st of 2021, and certified mail was sent on November 23rd. Certified mail was delivered, however, it just says COVID-19. Not sure exactly if it was signed for. However, the property was cited for exterior paint, clean and sanitary, rental tax receipt, certificate of use, inoperative vehicle, trash can placement, obstruction of right-of-way, bare landscape, tree abuse, unpaved parking, and outdoor storage. The property has since complied with the clean and sanitary, the rental tax receipt, the certificate of use, inoperative vehicle, trash can placement, the obstruction of right-of-way, and the tree abuse. I have had contact with the property owner for code section 18103J, which is the exterior paint, and 94442C1, which is the landscape maintenance. The city is asking for an additional 90 days or $100 per day. For code sections 94482, 94,482A and 94,71C. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, so for the paint and the landscaping,
Yes, 90 days or $100.
and for the parking and outdoor storage, 30 days or 200.
Correct.
All right, so what's the paint issue?
So the paint issue is the secondary unit, which you see the picture coming up. They have started painting the first unit, but the secondary unit still needs to be painted.
Okay. The landscaping is what, the overgrowth along the building, is that it?
It has no grass at all.
Okay.
It's just dirt.
I guess I saw the car parked on the grass there. And outdoor storage is the junk sitting by the fence?
Excuse me?
The outdoor storage is just the stuff sitting there along the property?
And there's like a lot, empty lot with a lot of construction debris on it. It's just piled in one place. That needs to be removed.
Okay, all right, all right, in case CE 211102291, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18103J and 94442C1. As to those, I give the respondent 90 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day. I further find the property owner in violation of 9442A and 9471C. I give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 40, case number CE 21110-300, case address 925 32nd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 925 32nd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 1st of 2021, and certified mail was sent on November 23rd of 2021. I've had contact with the property owner. The property was cited for exterior paint, landscape maintenance, and outdoor storage. The only remaining violation is the outdoor storage. The city is asking for an additional 15 days or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
Let me see the paint issue there. There's the outdoor storage. Where's the bare grass? Ah, there, okay. I'm sorry, you said 30 days?
15 days,
15 days?
$50 per day.
So it's just painting that little area, putting some sod down there, and removing the outdoor storage?
The only remaining violation is the outdoor storage. So they just need to remove the washer and dryer and the few other minor items from that carport.
Perfect. All right. In case CE 21110-300, make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 9471C. Respondent has 15 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 41, case number CE 21110-303, case address 937 32nd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 937 32nd Street was cited on November 22nd of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 1st of 2021, and certified mail was sent on November 23rd of 2021. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, bare landscape, and outdoor storage. I've had contact with the property owner. The only remaining code section is 9471C, which is the outdoor storage. The property has complied with all other code sections. The city is asking for an additional 15 days or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
What's the outdoor storage? Okay, I see it. All right, in case CE 21110-303, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 9471C. Respondent has 15 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 42, case number CE 2112-0066, case address 943 43rd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 943 43rd Street was cited on December 6th of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 8th of 2021, and certified mail was sent on December 9th of 2021. The property was cited for exterior paint and inoperative vehicle. I've had no contact with the property owner. The property has since complied with the exterior paint. The only remaining violation is the inoperative vehicle. I'm not quite sure if it's in compliance because the owner did install a fence without a permit to, I guess, hide the inoperative vehicle. So the city is asking for an additional 10 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
You mean by the fence that you can't see the car, or that you don't know?
There's a fence, so I don't know if that's the new fence. So the car is behind that fence. So I don't know if it's still there or if it's in compliance.
Well, the last time you examined the property was not in compliance, and they have not communicated to you that it is in compliance.
Correct.
Okay. In case CE 211200066, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 34102B. Respondent has 10 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 43, case number CE 2112-0067, case address 3818 Greenwood Avenue has complied. Agenda item number 44, case number CE 2112-0073, case address 942 43rd Street.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 942 43rd Street was cited on December 6th of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 8th of 2021, and certified mail was sent on December 7th of 2021. The property was cited for exterior paint and unpaved parking. The property has since complied with the unpaved parking. The only remaining violation is the exterior paint. I've had contact with the property manager. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Did you say the only issue remaining is the unpaved parking?
The exterior paint.
The exterior paint. So they fixed the unpaved parking.
Correct.
What about the bare landscape?
That was addressed as well.
Okay. And I'm sorry, how long did you say you wanted to give them?
30 days or $100 per day.
You said you've communicated with them?
With the property manager, yes.
And they said that they were going to get this done within 30 days?
But they still haven't done it.
And the fine you were looking for was $100 per day after 30?
Correct.
All right, in case CE 211200073, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of Code Section 18103J. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 45, case number CE 2112-0190, case address 3403 Australian Court.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 3403 Australian Court was cited on December 15th of 2021. The property and City Hall were posted on December 17th of 2021, and certified mail was sent on December 16th of 2021. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, rental tax receipt, certificate of use, trash can placement, obstruction of right-of-way, and parking in the swale. The property has since complied with all code sections with the exception of the rental tax receipt and the certificate of use. I have had contact with the property owner, and he is aware that a rental tax receipt is required to rent the property. He is currently in Texas. I'm not sure when he'll be applying for it, but the city is asking for an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
So the reason he hasn't applied for it is because he's in Texas?
I'm assuming, but I did direct them on how to find the application online. As of yesterday, it hasn't been submitted, so I think
But he did everything else, huh?
They pretty much did everything else.
All right. In case CE 2112090, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of Code Sections 18162A and 2232A. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance, or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 46, case number CE 21050143, case address 146 Worth Court South.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited October 21st, 2021. Certified mail was sent out October 22nd, 2021. It was returned October 28th. The property and City Hall were both posted October 25th, 2021. This property was cited for 105.1 failure to secure building permit, 110.3 required inspections, 78-94A restrictions on planting, and 78-94B restrictions on planting. The violations are for 2 palm trees that were planted in the swale at this property. There has been email conversation between the owner or someone working for the owner and the manager for code enforcement that they're asking for additional time. The city is recommending 60 additional days to get the permit approved and obtained and inspected and closed out, or the city's asking for $100 a day.
So they put up these big palm trees and they didn't get permission, huh?
Yeah, correct. They did apply for the permit. They need to resubmit. It failed plan review.
Because it's in the swale.
Yeah, it needs approval before it could be there.
So you said 60 and 100?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 2105014, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Responded to 60 days to come into compliance. A fine of $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 47, case number CE 2110084, case address 512 Malvern Road.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited November 9th, 2021. Certified mail was sent out November 9th. It was received November 13th, 2021. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on November 9th, 2021. This property was cited for 105.1 failure to secure building permit for a metal fence and gates that were installed at the property. Rental license, certificate of use required. Landscape areas must be grass and unpaved parking. I have had contact with the owner who has started working on all the violations. As of today, the only remaining violation is the code section 105.1 for the building permit. They have applied, and it needs some more information before it could be printed and obtained. The city's recommending 60 additional days to get that fixed, or we're asking for a $100 a day fine.
So the rental issue and the landscaping and the parking, that's all resolved?
Yes, everything else has been fixed.
All right. In case CE 211000184, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 105.1. Give the respondent 60 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 48, case number CE 2110091, case address 722 Hanson Street.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited November 9th. Certified mail was sent out November 10th and received November 12th, 2021. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted November 9th of 2021. This property was cited for 18106B, excessive growth, 18162A, rental license, 2232A, certificate of use, 74-4-C-5, cleanup to the center of the right-of-way, 94-442C1, landscape areas must be grass, 94-446-2, landscape maintenance, and 94-487B1, remove prohibited vehicles. I did meet one of the owner's friends / property manager at the property back in November. At the time, he admitted there's 3 units being rented at the property. They applied for the rental license, but zoning determined that there's only 1 legal unit at this property, so they're not able to get a rental license until that's fixed. And all violations have complied except code sections 18162A, 22-32A. And that's the rental issue, certificate of use. The city's recommending 30 additional days or $200 a day fine.
They got a real problem here, huh?
Yes.
There's people living in these units?
There is, yes. There was like if you see in the photos, there was, looks like a construction trailer that someone was living there too. That's removed now. I don't know if that was also a unit. But the property manager, they did apply for a rental license. They only put 2 applications on the unit, on the application, that they have 2 units there. And there's only one that's legal.
Well, sounds like they have a problem. I don't know what their solution is, but they do have a problem here. All right, in case CE 211-00191, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18162A and 2232A. Respondent has 30 days to bring it to compliance or fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 49, case number CE 211-0280, case address 5423 Garden Avenue.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited October 21st, 2021. Certified mail was sent out October 22nd and received October 23rd, 2021. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted October 25th, 2021. This property was cited for exterior doors and windows were boarded, 18162A rental license violation, 2232A certificate of use required, trash can in public view, and landscape maintenance. As of today, the 2 remaining code sections are 18162A and 22-32A. I did have contact with the owner. They're in the process of fixing up the property. They obtained a permit, so they're going to stucco the whole building. They applied for the rental license. It just needs an inspection, but I don't think it'll pass until the work is done as well. The city's recommending 60 additional days or a fine of $100 a day.
Is the rental license and certificate of use, that's the only issues at issue?
Yes.
Okay. In case CE 211-00280, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18162A and 2232A. Respondent has 60 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 50, case number CE 211-0302, case address 2211 Nottingham Boulevard.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited October 21st, 2021. Certified mail was sent out October 22nd. It was returned October 28th. The property and City Hall were both posted October 25th, 2021. This property was cited for artificial grass installed in the front yard, visible from the street, and landscape areas must be grass. There's different code sections. 94-442C1, 94-451A, and 94-451D. As of today, all violations remain. I did speak to the owner back in November. He did have correspondence with the manager as well. They're requesting additional time to come into compliance. The city's asking for 6 months or a fine of $150 a day after that.
So the city wants to give them 180 days?
Correct.
Seems like an artificial turf case every time I'm here now, huh?
I think I got most of them, hopefully.
All right, in case CE 211-00302, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find property in violation of 94-442C1, 94-451A, and 94-451D. Respondent has 180 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of up to $150 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 51, case number CE 211-0307, case address 5650 Columbus Road has complied. Agenda item number 52, case number CE 211-0330, case address 5200 Lake Avenue has complied. Agenda item number 53, case number CE 211-0333, case address 366 Linda Lane has complied. Agenda item number 54, case number CE 211-0335, case address 842 Nottingham Boulevard has complied. And agenda item number 55, case number CE 211-0398, case address 1021 Selkirk Street has complied.
All right, I think that other matters at 11:30? All right, so let's take an 8-minute recess.
Move around. Yes, I agree. I'm going to the restroom. Where's Mike?
Is the city ready to proceed?
We are.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to call us back into session. This is the special magistrate hearing for the city of West Palm Beach. This is the reduction of hearings, reduction schedule. These cases are going to be heard in the order in which they appear on the agenda. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means that the formal rules of evidence do not apply. However, all evidence is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you are going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, please rise and raise your right hand. Is that it? All right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
All right. The city's going to call them in the order in which they appear. When you hear your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side. The city will present some testimony evidence first, after which time you'll be given an opportunity to tell me what you're requesting and why I should grant it to you. It's important that you tell me what you are requesting and give me the justification for why I should grant it to you. All right. The city should call their first case.
Agenda item number 1, case number CE 2102002, case address 3058 Safflower Circle.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 0026 3058 Safflower Circle. Date ordered 4721. Fine started 6721. A daily fine of $100 per day. Out of compliance a total of 73 days. Current fine $7,300. Okay. And so that is pretty much it.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Emmanuel Todoroff, representing the Bermans.
Are you an attorney, sir?
No, sir. I'm the contractor on the job, the pool contractor.
Okay.
They're not able to attend today, so I'm representing them.
All right, so tell me what you're asking for and why I should grant it to you.
Originally, the city gave 60 days for compliance. The permit, at which point I spoke with Attilio, he said 60 days would be enough. That's what we requested. It took a little more than 5 months to attain the permit. After we attained the permit, we closed everything out, passed all the inspections, and closed the job out.
So you asked for 60 days and it took 5 months?
To obtain the permit from the city, it was turned in immediately. So it took that long to go through.
Okay, so what are you asking me for, sir?
For complete dismissal. We've closed out all permits after we obtained the permit after 5.5 months. It didn't take 30 days. It took 5.5 months to obtain a permit.
What's the city's response?
Obviously, this was a building case, and I can't really either confirm his standing with his conversation with Ortilio. But in light of whatever did or did not transpire, the city's requesting 50%, and that would be $3,650.
I gotta be honest, I'm kind of confused here. So there was a building started without a permit. You went and obtained the permit, and you're saying that the city shouldn't fine you because it took the city too long to give you the permit.
The issue was everything was unclear about barbecues. If it's on wheels, you don't need a permit. If it's off wheels and it's a small section of barbecue, then you need it. So after I spoke with Chris Kruger, who was fully involved all 5 of those months, the city itself, in the review of the permit, was not sure whether it's commercial, residential, because of the venting. So they requested for the barbecue to have a actual vent or a hood, stainless steel hood above it. So this is at Banyan K, which is a new development, just a little under 100 homes. The developer pulled out of doing any of the barbecues because the city ordinances and codes for those barbecues there were completely unclear. So when I went into this sight unseen, it was these boxes needed to be fireproof. And that's why the builder pulled out, because he installed in the show homes, and they made them tear them out, cabinets that were actually flammable. So the builder said, I don't want to be involved, but the residents still wanted the barbecues because there was plumbing there for a small sink, and there was a space for, as you could see, for a small barbecue right in the center. So that being unclear, when they went into review, Chris had a hard time. So after many, many phone calls and 5 months, we finally obtained a permit. When the inspector showed up, they were kind of, what are we actually inspecting? Which is mechanical, plumbing, electrical. They just threw it all together. So now that I've actually know how to work with these particular units, I could go and pull a permit for all of the homes. But a lot of people aren't doing them or just doing them without a permit after they close and after the city is out of there, which is they're on the last 5 homes of construction.
Right, so if I understand correctly,
I complied 100% and worked with
So walk me through here for a second. So what happened here was there was a space here for a barbecue that the original developer was going to develop into a barbecue, but then chose not to because the expense or whatever reason they didn't want to do it anymore. So you were hired by this particular homeowner to put in a barbecue. Is that correct?
The Bermans basically bought everything, and I'm the pool builder, so they ordered the countertop themselves. So once we put everything in place that they ordered, then I said, I'll help you. So that I helped them put that together.
Yeah, that's when you help, you get yourself in trouble, right? So you helped them install this barbecue, and then the city cited it as being installed without a permit.
Correct.
And so then you went to the city to obtain a permit, but because of the issues related to this particular style of construction, it took a long time for that permit to happen.
It was because it was unclear to begin with, and to this day, it's very unclear on how those barbecues need to be installed in that space.
Does the city know anything about this particular circumstance?
No, no, we do not. In looking at the application that was completed by Mrs. Bierman, these are her comments for the mitigating factors. This is what she indicated, and I quote, "The property was brought into compliance as per the request of the City of West Palm Beach. I obtained all necessary permits in a timely manner." And it further goes on to say, because of those mitigating factors, she's requesting full lien dismissal/removal. And so that contradicts what this gentleman is indicating.
Does it?
It does.
I'm not sure myself.
Now that picture is false too, because the current picture shows a hood that the homeowner invested $4,000 to put up a hood.
Special magistrate as well. For instance, I went into the permit information for the barbecue insert top and hood insert, which the gentleman just mentioned. Everything started on March 31st of 2021. There was additional over 100 notes and comments from the various people that had to be involved, city people that had to be involved. Communication in April, at least 2, possibly 3 or more times. June, there was 2 times. July, there was 4 times. And as of July 22nd, it indicated reviews were complete, waiting on fees to issue the permit. And then on July 27th, the permit was issued for that particular building permit for the insert top and hood insert. And then there were additional if I may go back. There was a mechanical, an electrical, and a plumbing. And those were the most detailed comments on that one I just indicated.
Is there any sense about
there was a
why-
lot of communication back and forth, a lot of, the owner had to address comments that were made by the various reviewers. And I think that's where, this is coming from the city side, is that the city needed information and had to wait and have that information provided by the owner. So
Yeah,
would
if I
propose
understand the city's
was not
position, the
to
city's
see-
argument is the reason it took this long is because they didn't obtain the information necessary to issue the permit.
We went back and forth because nothing was clear, and the homeowners needed to make things clear, and the city needed to make things clear. The reviewers really weren't sure, because this was the first time they're skinning this cat. So now that we learned how to skin the cat, I can do another 98 homes. So we know who to go to now, we know how to do it now, but the city was unsure on the ventilation, whether it had to be commercial or residential, whether it had to have a fire, even a fire extinguisher up at the top on a residential home. At the same time, the homeowner said, if I knew that this was going to happen, I would just go buy a Weber grill and just wheel it in. But from my understanding, they're even asking, Attilio wrote up another one of my customers on a barbecue that has wheels, which to me, it's kind of silly. And a lot of the inspectors said this is kind of silly when they showed up to inspect. And they asked me, what am I here for? And
Is there any other code issues related to this particular owner that we know about?
Not that we are aware of. Additionally,
no other code cases or code liens against this owner? I'm looking through for everyone in here, the city sets forth, they have an ordinance that sets forth how I'm supposed to weigh reductions of lien requests, and so they give me a list of 8 things I'm supposed to consider, and one of them is whether or not there's existing liens or code cases. I presume the city's position is that there are not, that you're aware of?
right.
I do think there is some confusion associated with this. I don't know. How does the city assess the gravity of this violation? What's your opinion on the gravity?
Well, obviously, the job was red tag. Okay, it was initiated without permits, and so in light of that, the city feels like a reduction of 50% is rather sizable, and so we feel like it's more than fair. Other $3,650.
Magistrate, can I mention something? Right, I'm over here. Mark Joyce, Code Enforcement.
Yeah.
Anytime the building code is cited, it's a life and safety. They're running gas lines, they're running electric, they're running plumbing. So it could be a matter of life and death if this is not hooked up correctly.
none of that was run when it was cited. None of it. There was no life safety.
Sir, I'll give you the last word. Tell me anything
Yes,
else
sir.
you want me to know.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, I'll give you the last word.
Everything from day one was complied. Nothing was hooked up. We spoke with Attilio. Attilio said, no problem. Go get everything that's necessary. Nothing is clear here because Bang and K.
Did you or your owner attend the code hearing, when the magistrate made his ruling?
I was here.
And so the magistrate obviously felt that there was a violation, right?
They gave me 60 days to obtain the permit. After speaking with Attilio, that's what he said, that most likely we'll get it within 30 days and then close it out, which it took 5 months. And as soon as we obtained the permit, we obtained the ventilation. Everything was
Why don't you guys go
passed.
back to code and ask for an extension? If you weren't going to get it
I
done
spoke
within...
with Attilio on the job 7 times. I kept Chris Kruger in check with everything more than 10 times, and so did the homeowner. Again, we were trying to comply. I own Palm Beach Designer Pools, and I built their pool, so I comply with it all. So that's why I pushed to get this done, and I'm the first permit that was given in that 100-home community that actually, I did the work to obtain the permit, to get all the necessary permits in place without it being clear. And that's why the general contractor of the whole community wasn't given one, is because they felt that he was going to build stuff that was insufficient for the, and not safe.
All right, this is what I'll do.
And the unit that we built is fully safe, non-flammable, with an exhaust, like overkill.
Well, I presume so, since it is, it is coded and permitted, so we're gonna presume whatever's been done has been done properly.
I also did pay triple the fees or whatever it was, so I think that's sufficient enough to cover the permit and the extra fees, and I still move towards dismissal on the other fees.
All right, this is what I'm willing to do, in case CE 2102002. I do think that there was a violation that the city correctly pursued here. I also think that there are mitigating circumstances associated with this that the respondent petitioner testified to. So I'm willing to reduce the fine from $7,300 to $1,000 payable within 30 days.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, case number CE 16010623, case address 9905 Baywinds Drive, Unit 2102.
Okay, Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 0623 9905 Baywinds Drive, number 2102. Date ordered 3/16/2016. Fine started for 19/2016. Daily fine of $100 per day. Total number of days out of compliance, 1,144 days. Total fine of $114,400. That said, there was a prior magistrate order, October 2nd, 2019, which reduced that amount, the $114,400, to a settlement of $8,000 payable within 60 days. And obviously, if that $8,000 is not paid, then it reverts back to the original amount. For some particular reason, maybe the respondent can explain that, that $8,000 settlement was never met. And so we are back today in light of that.
Sounds like you had a pretty good deal.
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney
Okay,
Tracy
I'm sorry, can you
Davis-
tell me your names, please?
Attorney Tracy Davis on behalf of the Wells family. And this is,
Claude Facey.
Ma'am, are you an attorney?
yes, I am.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
All right. It is true, I came October 2nd and we got the fine down to 8,000. After that, my client became ill, and also we were trying to sell the property so that the fee could come out of the sale. One of the parties here is deceased. The other lady, she has dementia. So it's really the husband trying to get everything done. In the time, in the 60 days time, he misunderstood. I sent him the lien reduction order that I received the day I left, but he was thinking he was gonna get something in the mail from West Palm Beach. And in the time frame, we didn't get the sale done. And because of miscommunication, he didn't pay it. When he did get the lien reduction paperwork from West Palm Beach, it was in January of 2020. And he called West Palm and said, okay, I'll send you the money. And they said, it's too late. And he said, well, I just received it. And that's why I had to start all over again. And we got, with COVID, everything shut down and we weren't able to get in. At this point, the property is in foreclosure. It was in foreclosure before, but now we have a sale date on March 3rd. And we have a contract for sale that Mr. Facey has offered to buy the property, but the title, if we don't get a reduction, we won't be able to make the sale occur because 114, the property is only being sold for 160,000. And the bank.
So tell me what you're asking me to do.
What I'm asking is if we can reduce the amount of the lien even lower than the 8, because he's not gonna make any money from the sale. If we can get it down to like $3,000, that might be all that the sale will have to give to West Palm Beach. Otherwise, if the property goes into foreclosure in March, there is no money to pay that lien.
What's the city's position?
Magistrate, here's the property appraisal with regard to the properties. The city is requesting $10,000.
There has been mold because 2 pipes have broken into the condo. There's mold now into the property. Mr. Facey had went in and checked. We've had to fix that property twice because pipes have broken and mold has is currently in the property. So
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you your 8 back, and I'll give you 60 days.
thank you.
Agenda item number 3, case number CE 09010500, case address 729 40th Street.
Morning. Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 0500, 729 40th Street. Date ordered 4/22/09. Fine started 5/26/09. Daily fine of $100. Number of days out of compliance 229 days. For a total current fine amount of $22,900. Let's see. The only, well, the mitigating factors here as indicated, it's kind of difficult to understand. Maybe the respondent can shed some light on it, but basically what I see here is it sounds like the respondent was in process of evicting a tenant, and then it goes on to say the only occupants at this time are family members. But a lot of the handwriting is somewhat difficult to understand, but that's pretty much what I understand of the mitigating factor.
How many days of noncompliance did we have here?
Say again, I'm sorry, sir?
How many days was it not in compliance?
229 days. The city's requesting a 25% reduction, which would make that $5,725.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Donna Ross. I'm the owner of the property.
So tell me what you're asking for and why I should grant it to you.
Yes, sir. I am asking for it to be dismissed altogether. As the code enforcement officer indicated, the violation was because of a renter's license in 2009. And at that time, I was trying to evict the tenant from the property. She finally, after we went to court, she decided that she would go ahead and move. I did get the license within a few months for the next year. I think it was January when I finally got the license after I had went through all the trouble of trying to get her evicted. I had asked for leniency then. According to this order,
This was ordered, the $100 a day in June of 2009, and they had 3 months to foreclose on the lien, but that's 2009. 3 months has gone way past 2009. I only asked, I didn't find this out until I got ready to try to refinance the house, because I've been living in the property, and my son, my daughter-in-law, and granddaughter live in the other side of the property. I didn't find this out until I went just a few months ago to try to refinance, to try to straighten out some bills. And then even at that time, I did the request for the reduction hearing in August of 2021, last year. And it has taken this long for them to come to court, or come to this hearing. First, they said it would be up to 90 days. Obviously, January of 2022 is more than 90 days. They then said that I had to pay my alarm permit and my water bill before I could even come to a code enforcement hearing. Those were already paid, and the water bill wasn't even due, but I paid that too. I'm not trying to get out of being in compliance, because I've always been in compliance. But this is ridiculous. At 2009, the city could have done better with some communication.
The city has offered to reduce it from $22,900 to $5,700. That's a 75% reduction. It's pretty substantial.
I understand that, sir. I just think it's unfair, but if that's what I have to deal with, that's what I have to deal with. I just think it's very unfair.
So you had let me see if I understand what happened here. So you had a renter in the property, but you didn't have a rental license?
I had a renter in the property, and I had been having renter's license. I was at the time trying to get her out of the property, and really, I did not want to rent the property anymore, and as you can see, I live in it, so I didn't rent it anymore. Just got tired of renters, because they tore up my property, they just, you know.
Well, I can appreciate that.
And so I just was trying to get rid of her, and I asked for leniency, didn't have any idea that this lien had taken place.
Well, I can't reduce it to zero, because you probably know, people watch this, and one of the things that I have to do is be consistent about how I treat all people in the city of West Palm Beach. Every magistrate does, right? So in the cases where there isn't something, you know, there has to be some accountability for making sure that we get rental licenses, and as a landlord, you have some responsibility. But I do think you have some extenuating circumstances. I'll reduce this to $2,000 payable within 60 days.
Thank you, sir.
Matter number 4, case number CE 20120001, case address 1401 Village Boulevard, Unit 1015.
We have David Matalon. Okay. Matalon. Okay. Matalon. Yeah, it's right over here. All right, hold on one second. Let me let the city introduce the case, and then I will give you your opportunity to speak, sir.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 0001, 1401 Village Boulevard, unit number 1015. Date ordered 2/3/21. Fine started 3/22/21. Daily fine of $200 per day. Number of days out of compliance 253. Current fine amount $50,600. Let's see, the mitigating factors as indicated by the respondent. Basically, it says no notice was provided to respondent to address violations. Tenant never advised of any issue that required such code enforcement. Fees are excessive and a reduction is requested. Lien was only found out through a lien search to sell another property in Palm Beach County. Needs partial release. Okay.
My agenda shows two different fines here. 50,600, and 53,400.
Let's see here.
We believe that's correct, Mr. Magistrate.
Are these two different cases being brought together, or were these two different?
Two different cases, yes. Let me, actually there is. And the current fine amount on the other one is $53,400. Oversight on my part. With regard to that particular code section, it's actually two different code sections. Let me back up a little bit. For code section 105.1, date ordered 2/3/21. Fine started 3/22/21. Daily fine amount $200. Total number of days is 253 days, for a total fine amount of $50,600. The other code section is 18162-A. Date ordered 2/3/21. Fine started 3/8/21. A daily fine of $200. Number of days out of compliance 267. A current fine of $53,400. Okay. And this is the same owner.
So there are city liens on this property of over $100,000, that's correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, sir. My name is John Phillips, attorney, 110 Tower, 110 Southeast 6th Street, Fort Lauderdale, 33301.
Do you represent the owner, sir?
I represent Mr. Manalon, who's here with me today, Your Honor. And
the floor is yours.
Excuse me?
The floor is yours.
Thank you. If I might be permitted to submit a document for your consideration.
Please show it to the city attorney first, please.
Is Ms. Frankenera here? Oh, I've had the pleasure of chatting. This is an affidavit. Would you like that one? I have another copy for you. While she reviews that, Mr. Magistrate, the problem is here, my client had a tenant in there. He never knew about this. The minute that he found out about it, he immediately rectified it. There was a hot water heater. Ms. Frankenera showed me a photograph that was posted on the door, and I'll show you I have a text from the tenant, and this is attached to the affidavit. My client asked, "Did you know about this?" And she said, "No, I never got anything. I never got any letters. I never got any notices." And so as the affidavit attests, he wasn't aware of any code issues before this date. Sorry about that. Let me turn this off. Okay. He was not aware of this. The tenant never told him, never said that there was anything on the door. He never received at his home office, even though a few years ago there might have been another notice that the city had his home address. Once aware of the situation, my client immediately undertook steps to comply, and he did come into compliance. And so if you'd like to take the testimony, Mr. Madeline, I'm prepared to have him tell you what happened on this.
I can, though the question of notice is appealable in the original hearing. It's not at a fine reduction hearing, I can't dig under the findings of the previous magistrate.
No, I respectfully submit, however, it is a factor to consider in the lien reduction based upon whether it was willfulness, his immediate response, some of the factors for your honor to consider. So
According to the city, I'm supposed to weigh the gravity of the violation, the time it took. I mean, they give me a 8. Notice doesn't, re-litigating notice doesn't show up here, but, I can certainly consider anything he wants to tell me.
Okay. But the gravity of the situation, this was a hot water heater, which I believe the person installed it.
Actually, just 1 second really quick. Does the city have any objection to this affidavit?
No objection.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. But no, I sat on the Code Enforcement Board for 6 years in Fort Lauderdale as a co-chairman in the unsafe structures. So I'm well aware that with life safety issues and coming to compliance, that's the goal of the city, not to be punitive in assessing fines. But there is a good faith on behalf of Mr. Madelon. The affidavit, as well as the text from the tenant, I think shows his good faith and his promptness. Once notified, he went into high gear to resolve it. The onerous nature of the fine is such that we'd respectfully request Your Honor to perhaps enter a lien reduction to the amount of the city's costs in this. The purpose is life safety and to come into compliance, and Mr. Madelon has done that. If I can have him just testify to what my arguments were. Mr. Madelon?
Yeah, I just want to say that.
By the way, tell for the record, you're the owner of.
Oh, yes.
1401 Unit 1005.
My name is David Madelon, 1401 Village Boulevard, number 1015.
Okay.
Your name's Don Williams, sir?
Mike Williams.
Sorry. There was another code enforcement issue with the same tenant, same property, about 5 years ago. There was never a violation for a business license at that time. So I was surprised that this was brought up to my attention at this point. But they did have the right address at that time. So I was properly notified.
That was a different address than 1401, correct?
No, it was the same
Okay.
place. So
I don't think this is a rental license violation, not a business.
Well, that's what I mean. It's called a business license, correct?
Well, certificate of use and a rental license.
Okay. Well, some people call it a business license. I'm sorry. So I was surprised that this came up now. Secondly, this tenant is very difficult. There's some, I don't know what you want to call them, mental issues. I'm not a doctor, but I sent contractors to do work there. She denies their access to the property. I have to call a police officer to come in, escort, so we
Let
can
me
bring
ask you this,
people in.
because I will accept as, your testimony that your tenant didn't inform you about the things that, I guess it was a she received. Typically, the way that the city does its notice is it sends a certified mail to the address that's listed in the property appraiser's records. Did you have the correct address listed in the property appraiser's records?
At the time, I did not.
Okay, so that's probably why you didn't receive that notice.
Right. But they did have it in the
but
previous
that
file.
obligation, right, I mean, that obligation belongs to you as the property owner, not to the city to sort of hunt down which correct address you're going to give. Their obligation under Chapter 162, as your attorney probably knows, is to send it to the address that's listed in the property appraiser's records, and there's no evidence that they didn't do that.
I understand that, but on a previous case, I was properly notified at the right address. So, I mean, it's right there in the eGov one-stop shop system, the same system where this other case is.
Okay, go ahead and tell me anything else you want me to know, sir.
The only thing else is, once I did find out about it, I immediately complied. Within 12 days, everything was brought compliant. And that was during the Thanksgiving break, where the office was closed for 2 days. Okay. So, and also on the previous case, once I'm notified, I take care of things. I'm not some sort of, slum landlord.
I don't think anyone's judging your character, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's about it.
What's the city's position?
In light of the fact that per 162, we did forward the correspondence to the address that that the respondent had available, which at that time was 1401 Village Boulevard, unit number 1015. The city's position is that we're asking 25% on each violation, 25% of each total amount.
Veronica, I just mentioned my client has a mortgage on this property, and there's expenses associated with it, and it would work a tremendous hardship upon him to pay. I guess the city's asking for almost $26,000. And I think the affidavit and the text from the tenant does show bona fides on Mr. Manilon's attempt. So again, keeping in mind, this is not to generate income for a city, but rather to ensure compliance, we'd throw ourselves on the mercy of Your Honor to do justice and provide a reasonable amount that is calculated.
Well, give me a number. What would you propose as reasonable under these circumstances?
Many years I sat on the board, we would ask the city and they would say, we'd like $1,500 for our costs associated with the work involved for the time of the.
Well, what I can tell you is that the city of West Palm Beach never represents their cost to me, so I don't know what that is. But you'd have to make me what you a proposal of what you think would be reasonable under these circumstances.
How about?
The city's offered, if I did my math correct, around 26,000. Is that about right? I did it real quick here.
Yes, sir.
So the city's offered to reduce it from 103 to about 26,000, which is a fairly substantial reduction.
How many months was it? Your Honor, my client suggests instead of $400 a day, maybe $400 a month, which would be $4,000. There's some, calculus associated with that.
Guys are making me do math today at the end of a hearing. So the city offered 26 and you proposed 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me just look at the standards from the city here real quick so that I'm making sure I stay in my lane here. What's the city's assessment of the gravity of this violation? The respondent has suggested that it's not very significant. What's the city's position on that?
Judge, we're not saying it's not important, but I'm just saying I don't think it's the level of life safety type of issues. I don't want to be missing.
Well,
fair enough. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
right.
to misrepresent you.
Well, it certainly is not a life safety issue. That said, though, the property was out of compliance. A total of 200 plus days.
Are there any existing code cases with this owner or other properties with code issues?
I don't believe so.
Let's see. Do you have any showings of hardship?
Mr. Madelon, you have a mortgage on this property?
I do, yeah.
You have association.
Sir, can you speak into the mic? I got to be able to hear you.
You have association
Yes,
dues,
yes, there
homeowners?
are dues, there are property taxes, there's a mortgage, and there's a difficult tenant, which honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be wanting to rent to her much longer. So, yeah, I mean, and there's been the costs just involved with dealing with this for the last 2 months.
And you have my legal fees, correct?
Yeah, and I have to pay Mr. Phillips here.
Okay.
Well, we attorneys are always a kind of hardship, aren't we? All right, this is what I'm willing to do. I'll reduce it to essentially what amounts to about 10%. So I'll reduce it to $10,000 payable within 90 days.
10,000?
10,000.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Frankenair. Thank you, Mr.
Special
Inspector.
magistrate?
Yep. 5,000 each case.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
10,000 total?
Yes.
Total, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Can we, can I get an order?
She's working on it.
Okay. And that could be paid, can that be certified check sent to the city?
What was, it tells you on this order how you
Okay.
can pay. What was the daily fine? I'm sorry, I missed that. The fine, sorry, the fine, how long, I'm sorry.
It's
not the fine,
$5,000 each
The
case.
time frame?
Oh, it's, I don't know, do you have that? Officer
90
Williams?
days.
Okay,
Oh, 90
thank
days, yeah.
you. There you go.
Thank you, Ms. McEnara, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron, appreciate it.
Agenda item number 5, case number CE 19030256, case address 432 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard.
What do we got?
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 0256, 432 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. Date ordered 5/15/2019. Fine started 6/17/2019. Daily fine of $200 per day. Number of days out of compliance, 816. Current fine of $163,200. This is a new applicant. Let's see. Let's see, in terms of mitigating factors,
Why don't we just save time and let him tell me what his mitigating factors are?
okay.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, Ned Grace on behalf of 432 Palm Beach Lakes.
Are you a principal or an attorney, sir?
I'm the owner of the property.
The owner, okay. Excellent. So
Effectively
tell me what you're
happened-
asking for and why I should grant it to you.
Yeah, so I'm looking for $1,000 or administrative fees. We bought the property, or we contracted the property. It had liens in place. The previous owner had numerous violations over the years. He wasn't willing or able to cure the violations, so we said we would purchase the violations and immediately clean up the property and put in an application for a lien reduction. And we've worked closely with the CRA, the city, and the cops on this particular area, which has been a problem area under the Palm Beach Lakes Bridge. So that's, we basically bought the property with the liens just based on the inability for the previous owner to cure the liens.
What's the city's position?
The city can certainly appreciate the respondents' efforts in rehabbing the property and making it a viable part of the community. That said, the city's asking for 15%, which is $24,480.
Special magistrate specifically, this was a property that had gone through nuisance abatement twice in approximately 2.5 years. And so this particular owner coming in did work closely with the city to clean up that property, bring it into compliance, and also as a part of a bigger neighborhood rehabilitation in that area as well. Just wanted to make that clear that it had come out of nuisance abatement because it had been purchased.
Thank you.
Seems to me that's a pretty significant thing that the respondent do that I should take into account. Why 24,000? That seems a hefty price tag. Since I believe the respondent, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I suspect the respondent's position would be that they did the city a pretty good solid here.
I'd say they did a good thing.
So you proposed 1,000, was it?
Yes, sir.
That might be even more generous than I would typically be in this case.
500.
I mean, there is a substantial fine on here, and to show you that I'm trying to think clearly about such things. I don't want to give the impression to anyone that's watching that they can just ignore these things, toss the property to somebody else and then the liens go away, because that would incentivize bad behavior.
Yeah, we ended up this was a really troubled transaction. So this was, typically we wouldn't ever close on a property with this type of situation unless it was extenuating circumstances, which it was in this case. It was a handicapped gentleman that owned the property and just, he didn't have the ability to manage the property, and it had been a drug issue house for a long time. So we said, we will go ahead and move forward, but it wasn't something we liked to do.
I want to leave enough of a fine on this property so it at least covers some of the city's costs in the abatement of this property over the years. So what I'd be willing to do is I'd reduce it to $5,000.
Okay, thank you.
And how much time do you need?
To pay?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
All right. We'll give you 30 days.
Thank you.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Seeing no business before us, this meeting is hereby adjourned.
Hey, how's it going?